start to turn it. Keep it on center. Can't stop moving my hands. Now I'm going to shape it up for the bubble. This is a metal table. It's called the marver. I will marver on the marver. Shape it up. So I'm going to freeze the surface essentially. There's still a lot of heat in the core. And when I'm done shaping it, I'm actually going to turn the mic off, or the bubble, when I put the bubble in there, it's going to be really loud. But I want you to watch the glass so you don't miss the bubble, because it looks cool. It's a very fun part of the process is the bubble. All right, here we go. Watch the glass. All right, did you see it? So I trapped air in the pipe with my finger on the back. The air gets hot and it expands. Happens. The starter bubble. I'm just going to shape it up a little bit more. I'm getting ready to gather on top of it. I can make like a little drinking cup out of this bubble before it starts to get too thin. I want to make something a little bigger. In between that piece and that piece, I would say, since it's just me. A little bit easier for me to keep it slightly smaller for this demo. So the bubble's pretty cold now, right? It's not really blowing. It's not moving anymore. If I stop turning the pipe, it's not falling off the pipe. Now it's stable. I can dip back in the melting furnace, even sounds cold, without the bubble collapsing. So I just take this last gather. This is how we build up our mass, is layer by layer, gather by gather. Because it's hotter than lava in here, it moves like honey. You can't just scoop out a giant ball at once. You gotta make a little cold core to then gather on top of it. So 2 gathers, plenty for me right now. Gonna add some color. Some frit, F-R-I-T, is crushed up colored glass shards. I know, it sticks right there on the surface. It's really fast way to add color to glass. So, this is glass on glass, like I was saying. Crushed up colored glass shards. So, it might kind of look like sand or gravel, but this glass, a nice opaque white. And then I'm going to melt this into the surface so there's no more texture. It's nice and flush. The reheating chamber is just this big barrel of fire right behind me. This is also 2,200 Fahrenheit, 1,200 Celsius. There's just not any glass in this one, except for the piece on the pipe. Just to reheat the bubble. At this point, if it's getting too cold and it's not moving and I want to shape it more, I have to come back and get it hot. Constantly in and out. Second roll of color is going to be through a really pretty aquamarine blue. It's transparent, finer size than the white. This is more like the size of sand, but it is black. And the frit's just going to melt down into different size speckles and spots. It's a really direct translation of powder onto a bubble. So I'm going to put just a little bit of air into it right now, not a bunch, just a little. As I roll through the color, it's starting to squeeze the bubble back out of the pipe. And I don't want that to completely disappear. Now just a little puff of air. Next, I'm going to sit in the bench and start to use some hand tools. The first one I'm going to use looks like a big wet wooden spoon. It's called the block. I'm just going to roll through there to reset the shape. I'll show it to you when I get a second, and then I'll add some air in there.